Yes. Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation, and welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. Unfortunately, I'm running quite late today, and so I only have about 40 minutes today. Still keeping the streak alive, damn it! We are 2 days away from the 6-month anniversary of the stream streak, so we're still streaming, but I am running a bit late today. My bad. Anyways, as always, daily for almost 6 months running, I open my doors of my office, usually the Audiophonics Lab, so I can answer your burning questions about the SCP Foundation. So whether it's about anomalies we contain, staff who contains them, groups of interest who are annoyed about the whole containing thing, you know. And, of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, i.e. multiverse or pataphysical narrative level or fandom. I am here for the next 40 minutes to answer your questions, but before I do, a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, Just a Factory, congratulations on being the most punctual member of Site 42 staff. Congratulations on being our first chatter. Along with you, Junior Researcher Sally, Scarlet Fox, Jace, Edward, Dr. Puppeteer, Silent Follower, Bramblefire, Dark Duality, A.A. Blackwood, Aoki. I think I did Jace, but just in case I missed Jace, how about you, Jace? Orange Cloud, BTL55. Everyone whom I have just named, thank you for your exceptional punctuality, and also thank you for being Site 42 members. We appreciate your membership and your service. Meanwhile, Lils, that Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11 guy, Chucker, and Ron, thank you for being here at chat, just for being you. Can we see the dog if chat gives enough members? Well, right now the dog is out at work, and so the dog is not available. But I might be able to scrounge up a cat. But you're going to have to hit that membership goal of 50 memberships quick, because as I said, we've only got 40 minutes left. Meanwhile, as an update to everyone who is questioning the membership goals, we are at a current membership total of 1707. And that is out of the 2,500 that we need for me to dye my hair pink, as you have requested. It is also out of the 5,000, at which point you have required me to purchase a maid dress and do a cat-made waifu Dr. Sherman stream. I only went to the Catboy dimension the first time, and so I feel like it's going to be much more frustrating to add the waifu element to it. But this is what you guys wanted for some 5320 awful reason. And so those are our current housekeepings. Good to see everybody. Now, just to get I will get to donations and chat questions, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm sitting here in the title about. So yesterday we had a big discussion about the SCP Foundation Wiki's status on AI-generated art, which is AI art is completely banned from the English language wiki, as well as 99% of the foreign language branches. Only Ukraine and Czech Republic do not have AI art on their books. And honestly, that just might be something where it's licensed differently in those countries. Because in America, you can't copyright AI art, but maybe you can do something with it over there. But as long as it's Creative Commons by share alike in Ukraine and Czech, I guess you're allowed to. But everywhere else, it's not allowed. And the reason I'm still mad about this after yesterday is because I spent the entirety of yesterday, in between the work I was doing, getting annoying people in the comments yelling at me about how pro-AI they are. And actually, the SCP Wiki is super pro-AI, which it isn't, but they haven't read anything. Which, if they read things, they might actually be actual SCP fans and know what's going on. But they don't. They just talk straight out of their hindquarters, much like that Ace Ventura fellow. Did you know he can actually talk to animals? Quite anomalous, that one. Now works at Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. Very good place for him. So, as I was saying, two arguments that kept coming up are A, the technological advancement angle. Someone's joke was, oh, well, I bet scythe salesmen were really mad when people started selling tractors. And friend of the channel, Goose, brought up the fact that, did you know that when tractors were invented, they were overused so much that they overfarmed and were very strongly influential on the Dust Bowl that starved hundreds of thousands of Americans to death? So yeah, that just, if you know your history, is a reason to fear an oncoming technology that we don't understand and jumping straight into it without proper regulations. Funny story that. Furthermore, a lot of people compare, oh, well, painters were really mad when photography came around. Well, photography actually has a very minimal application compared to painting. Yes, you can get something photorealistic a lot easier with a picture, but that's about it. You can set your lighting, you can set your angles, you can take your picture, and yes, if you do some impressive modeling or other sorts of setups, you can do artistic things with a camera that you can't do with painting. But you can also do a lot of artistic things with a painting that you can't do with a camera. And so a camera is a different medium, but it doesn't replace the painter. AI art is literally being marketed as we will replace authors. We will replace painters and artists. So you see how this is different than that. Also, it still doesn't do a good job and it's way too expensive. So everyone hopping on the AI slop train is also not right in that sense either. They're not winning any battles. But of course, you're not going to be able to argue with them because they are like religious zealots. But then again, to be honest, most people are kind of like religious zealots. It's the reason that all humans, no matter how intelligent, are susceptible to falling into cults, because if you validate someone's perspective, they are more likely to be on your side. And if you engage against someone's perspective, they're more likely to turn against you. You catch more flies with honey, that sort of thing. Anyway, sorry, I'm still mad about that because I'm still dealing with it. And while we're on the subject of things that really grind my gears, how about we talk about something that's so much less controversial, but still grinds my gears. And that is, as Desk sent me this morning, SCP Explained Story and Animation, the YouTube channel, made an SCP-67 meme video. And you know what? I'm not just mad at that. Because when there's a meme and you are a YouTuber, you want to jump on the meme plane. You want to jump on for the revenue. I get it. Get your bag, buddy. I'm here for it. That's why I don't get super mad at the content farms when they do, oh, what about SCP Foundation versus Siren Head? Because yeah, Siren Head is not an SCP. Was like the first video I did in that genre. And so X is not an SCP, but if it were, is a great way to ride the meme revenue YouTube algorithm. I'm not faulting. Game recognizes game. And yes, Zerdrin and all of us, we are not 12 years old, so we don't find the 6-7 funny. But even then, I'm not all that much into picking on the annoying children. Because, yes, children do be annoying. But you know what? Boomers stole all of the money and the houses and the good jobs, and they're turning us all into peasants. So I'm much more mad at the boomers than I am at the chitlins. So, there's that. But here's where it grinds my gears. Here's where it grinds my gears. I know this meme will fade away. I know it won't be a big deal. We just gotta weather the storm. But in SCP Explained Story and Animations video, at the end of their video, they say, paraphrasing, but their moral is, if the SCP-067 Mason entity is so much more destructive than the SCP-067 pen, should we replace the number? Should we destroy the pen and install the Mason entity as the actual SCP-067? No! No, we shouldn't! Do not put that in the ether! You monsters! No! No! First of all, the Foundation does not destroy anomalies. Ever. Unless we really, really have to. Secondly, no! Do not feed in to the delusion! Do not, with your nearly 2.5 million subscribers, make this meme go further than it has to. Don't do it. I'm so grouchy. How dare you? If they just explained that, oh, this is the 6-7 meme that everyone's talking about, and here's the actual 067, then I wouldn't have had this. But why? Why would you do this to me specifically? Because I'm the one with a front-facing SCP YouTube channel who's gonna keep getting these comments in my chat and videos. You monster! Bastard-coated bastards with bastard filling. Ah! So salty. That was my last straw. That was my last straw. Thank you. And to top it all off, thankfully, some sense in the universe, their YouTube comments are tearing them to shreds. Who has taken over this channel? The Scarlet King. I thought SCP-067 was the pen. A good channel turned brain rot. I wish we could go back to the golden era. Unk has lost it. What are we even doing anymore, man? Unk forgot to take his meds. The brain rot has taken the SCP fandom. Not the fandom. Not the fandom. And furthermore, the last bit of this crash out, for the AI side and the 6-7 meme side, what does it mean to be a fan of something? What does it mean to be part of the community? I've always said that the SCP community is strange because if you are looking at something like Marvel, then you've got the Marvel Corporation, part of Disney, and they make the media. So they are the heart of they are the center of the solar system of the fandom. They are the heart, the creation of the IP. But then you go out and there's the artists who make it and all of the, I guess they're part of the actual heart. Let me skip out. I'm talking to the fan artist, the fan merch makers, the influencers who are, they're not just fans. They kind of make their living from doing this and they have a big voice in the community. That's your next layer. Then you've got like the fans who make fan art, and they're not influencers, but they are devoted. They make cosplays. They're awesome. They're making content for the love of the game. Then they've got coming down into like the fans who pay attention to things. They're not really making fan art, but they actually know the score. Then you've got the casual fans who don't know anything. They just kind of heard something sometimes and they like this or that, but they don't really pay attention. So what's a real fan? What's a real fan out of that entire set? Because the creators, yeah, they can be, I guess, fans of their own work, but are they fans? Are they the creators? Now that second tier, the influencers and stuff, they're probably fans. Now some of them probably aren't fans, they're riding the train. But there are probably some certainly good fans in there. The cosplayers and the low-level fanfic authors and artists, damn well better be true fans, for sure. Can't even go with that. Side tangent, Chalker. I love cosplayers, especially SCP ones, unless they're cringy tactical 12-year-olds. Hey, the cringy tactical 12-year-olds might grow up to be better tactical teenagers who might grow up to expand their taste. We can hope. Let's not give them too much trouble. But those casual fans, I think if you reach that casual fan line, then you're sitting in a mark where, do you actually support the creators who make the thing at all? Because the problem with online SCP fandom, it all being decentralized, is that the heart of the community is also the fans, is also the creators. So the big chunk soul here is shoved together a little bit, which makes things murky. But of course, we still have casual fans. What is a real fan? What is a fake fan when it comes to SCP? Is it people who read the wiki? Because I tell you this, the amount of people who read the wiki is very low compared to the entirety of the SCP fandom. So I'm almost hesitant to say, to be a real fan, you have to read the wiki. Even though, in my heart of hearts, I think that. But I find it hard to lay that out as a rule. But I do happen to think one thing that has to be part of being a true fan of something is supporting the artist and their wishes. Because if the entirety of the SCP wiki says no AI, and you're sitting there saying the SCP community supports AI, you're wrong. End of story. End of story, you're a fake fan. That's where I'm going with this. Okay. Rant upon rant upon rant complete. Let me catch back with the chat. I see some donos. Let me lock those in real quick. Starting with the Ko-Fi, because that's the one I always forget. Dark Duality, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for doing it through the Ko-Fi, which means that we get a little more of the donation fee. I still haven't worked out the Stripe thing, but I will. Thank you for that tip previously. Chest to Factory. Dark Duality also being a member, thank you for that. Now go to the commissary and get yourself a guava juice. Going on a mission for Mobile Task Force Oopsilon 23. One of these days, art thing about monsters. Checking if it is my old Are We Cool Yet buddies. Along with an aunt assigned unit in necessary transport. Out of character, really just my aunt, and she's driving me there. Ah, very nice. It's good to have backup. So yes, keep your aunt on hand. Nice acronym, by the way. Good work. So, have a nice adventure. Don't come back dead. Charizard, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Wait, if you've only really seen the videos of SCP and haven't been on the wiki, does that make you a fake fan? Sorry, I just don't want to be a fake fan. I think there's too many people who are fans of SCP from the games, from videos, from off-site content to go that far. I think you should check out the wiki because that's the source of the stories and there's so much for you there. But it's the same way that people can like a comic book character but never read their comics. Because I have read very, very few comic books. But I enjoy the Marvel movies, so at least I'm a Marvel movie fan and enjoy the characters in those iterations. I wouldn't call myself like a hardcore fan, but I'd call myself a casual fan. You don't get deemed fake fan unless you are actively going against the community with your fandom, i.e. rejoicing AI art in this case. Also remember that, yeah, off-media like games, that counts. The short films and the movies that are going to come out eventually, that counts. But even when people are being fake fans, as long as they're not being, or casual fans, I love casual fans, and I'm happy to coax them in the direction of being more serious about the community. I think it's cool when more people are serious about the community because maybe they get into making their own art, or they bring other people in because they enjoy it so much. So casual fans I got no fight with. It's the fake fans, the ones who support things that are against what the community says. That is my, line. If you don't support the creator of what you're working on, at least in theory, you're probably not a good fan. If all of the SCP artists and authors are saying, hey, don't steal our work and put them into AI, and you're like, oh, I don't care about that, I just want more content, yeah, that's unhealthy. It gets my blood boiling. Gets my blood boiling. Are there tales or SCPs that are about the subject of people being born from members of the Foundation? A person whose name I can't read, it's like Poljury or something. Yeah, weird font. If there are, I'm unfamiliar with them, but there are plenty of people who were born in the Foundation for one reason or another. The SCP short film, SCP Academy on YouTube by Dark Math Films, that is a short film that includes people who were born into the Foundation. So that might interest you. Gibbous Cereal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some milk on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman, I am SCP Cereal, or Dr. 9 has escaped. That's... You are SCP Cereal or Dr. 9 has escaped? Well, I'd rather you be SCP Cereal and locked in a box rather than have a doctor whose name is a number escape. Scarlet, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a fruity Odie bar on your way past the commissary. Chaos Insurgency, I remember it now, took me a month. What about the Chaos Insurgency? What did you forget? What do you now remember? I'm curious. It was a month ago. Scarlet Fox, thank you for your 2-month member message as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service. Just realized I could do this. AI sucks. Hi, Desk. AI does suck. And Jace, you are correct in saying that on the other side of this coin, you shouldn't have to prove yourself to anyone as a real fan. Gatekeeping is not always bad. Gatekeeping against AI fools? Yes. Gatekeeping against Nazis? Awesome. Gatekeeping against other kinds of bad behavior? Certainly. But just saying, oh, well, you're a casual fan, you don't know X, Y, and Z, that's a little mean-spirited. People can be casual fans, people can be deep fans. Just because someone's not the same amount of something into something that you are, doesn't mean they're not into the thing at all. So that's where I'm like, I agree with you entirely on that. Everything in moderation, that's the thing. Everything in moderation, there are good cases, there are bad cases. Cool Man Fight, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a package of honey roasted peanuts on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what about salty snacks, though? See? Salty snacks for you. Honey roasted peanuts. Go get them. Mobile Task Force Captain Hikari, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Mutter's milk on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. The Void Crystal presentation went well with the O5 Council, and O5-2 is now in the lab poking at the light crystals. You let an O5 near a particularly possibly dangerous anomaly? You know that's against regulation, right? O5-2, oh, they better have their head on straight. They know it's wrong, and so if they're getting exposed to that, this could be bad. This could be bad. Thoughts on Crawford's SCP live-action movies? I am not familiar with Crawford. Who is Crawford? Crawford Films, SCP. Ah, yes. I've seen these and some reactions to them. And actually, they're not too shabby. They look pretty good. The storylines are original. I liked the one where the Doctor did some subterfuge and did some switcheroos with 035 or something. Yeah, no, these were pretty good if I'm remembering correctly. In fact, if they wanted to ever chat shop, I would like to maybe discuss working with them in the future, I think. Looks like they're doing some good work. At least as far as I can tell. By the way, as a time check, we are 15 minutes to the end of this short stream today, everyone. 15 minutes. Dr. Navarro, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a cinnamon bun on your way past the commissary. I left you a tray of brownies in your office. Well, delightful. Thank you very much. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chicory coffee on your way past the commissary. I'm a casual fan of a lot of fandoms, but I still care and passionate. Yeah, you can only give your attention to so many things. The attention economy exists because everyone's trying to monopolize that. Hell, I'm part of the problem being online and monopolizing your time by talking about SCP, but at least we're all in the same boat of enjoying SCP, so it works. Yeah, I'm a casual fan of Marvel and DC. I'm a casual fan of some things. I'm a bigger fan of other things. Like I'm a huge fan of Firefly, the TV series, despite its problematic creator. I'm a fan of the Dresden Files books, despite the fact of some really misogynistic stuff in the first books. Dumb characters dumb, but we deal with it. And so, yeah, you can only devote your focus so much, which is why casual fandom is not a problem. But it is nice when people like the same thing you like a lot, which is why I do like pulling people into more serious fandom of the SCP Wiki, because then I have more people to talk about it with. Anime and Cartoon, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Cursed Traveler, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a blueberry waffle on your way past the commissary. The walls have eyes again, and ears, and teeth. All right, but to the floors. Can you at least stand in the middle of the room and stay safe? Is there a door? Can you leave said room? This would be interesting. Volgan is a lovely guy, pretty informative. I love his videos. Yeah, Volgan is a nice chap. Everybody likes that guy. English is my second language, so sometimes I struggle reading the wiki, but I enjoy both games and wiki. Intern Tuna, I appreciate that completely. Are you familiar with the foreign language branches? Perhaps there's an SCP wiki in your first language that might be more suitable. Otherwise, we do have people like me and Volgan who read the SCP documents, so you can listen to them if that makes it easier. Just suggestions to help you out. She stole my thunder. Welcome to Overseer level membership here at Site 42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service, and we look forward to the great leadership I expect from you in helping guide us to victory in the battle against the White Names. Doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. We found out who stole Plan 42. It was a few Chaos Insurgency in disguise as D-Class. Bastards. We are still talking to them to see why they would do something that dumb. Indeed. Not a great plan. Unfailing Eagle, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a everlasting gobstopper on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Schman. Today I bring the Becoming the Mission to the Foundation that my fellow co-workers can't stand. Oh, Lord. You're taking things that seriously now? God, you're worse than method actors. Yeesh. All right, well, your team will just have to deal with it till you quit. Scarlet Fox, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Chica Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. So I got bored, currently drawing stuff. Can't wait to entertain Desk later with the art. Back to lurking I go, skitters away. Great. I'm sure everything will be fine and nothing will be ruined. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. I don't really like Firefly. People think I'm named after the ship. Come on. I mean, I had to go through high school when the American Pie movies came out. I was called Shermanator for eons. You can survive a minor fandom of a small, niche sci-fi television show that was canceled before one season even ended. LOL. LOL, I say. Get on my level of being terrified by a media property that shares your name. I am the Shermanator, a sophisticated sex robot from the future, sent to the past to change the future for one lucky lady. Haunted me for years. It was funny, but still. If you are not familiar with the American Pie movies, that was a quote from the movie by a guy who thought that that was a really clever pickup line. Serrano Ash, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a bao bun on your way past the commissary. Ooh, I think I want some bao later. Hey, it's me, SCP Redacted. Can I please be let out of my containment cell? I promise I won't drown anyone in honey again. You're gonna have to wait a little while. People are still not taking honey in their tea thanks to you, so we need to let the trauma die down. Site 42, a real fan would be one that does not fall for or endorse drama bait that hurts the community's reputation, period. LeBacon, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I need you to elaborate. It's kind of a general statement. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. I see a spider in the corner of my room. Well, I hate that for you, but you seem to be a fan of them. But if it's doing something that's, like, bad, then maybe you should flee. Dr. Sherman, any tips on voice acting? I have no idea, as Volgan is basically alone here. Well, I mean, you've got Mr. Illustrated, you've got me. Dr. Sumerian was doing it for a while, but no longer. But for voice acting, there are classes you can take. They're teaching. Definitely take some acting classes. But voice lessons for singing as well help, because it helps you to control your breath and your tone and modulate your voice. Acting is very important in general, because even in the booth, people encompass the body and movements of the character when they're doing voice acting to make it sound more legit. So voice acting is a way to help that. Yeah, start taking some theater classes, my friend. That's a great way to get into it. LeBacon again. Essentially a fan that makes critical decisions regarding how they view the community and not relying on outside voices that exaggerate or demonize stuff on purpose. So are you talking about how we in the SCP community are constantly being attacked by right-wingers who claim that SCP used to agree with them even though it never did? And so they claim that the LGBTQIA community stole SCP from them even though it was always there from the start, and that the right-wingers were in fact the losers? Is that what you're talking about when you talk about drama bait? Because if then, I completely agree with you. Yeah, don't let non-fans let that like water off a duck's back roll off, because woof, don't let losers influence you that much, because they are losers. While I'm waiting for your response to that, Cursed Traveler, thank you for donating again. The issue has been solved. The new issue outside of the room is like that too. Also, I have no idea why the modern Chaos Insurgency is dumb. Before I defected from it to join the Foundation, it wasn't. They were always dumb. You just got the Kool-Aid out of your system. You're welcome. And trust me, it's not a crime to be wrong or dumb. We have all been wrong or dumb. Some people take the fact that they're being told they're wrong as a personal offense and slight of character. No. It's fine to admit to being wrong and uninformed and then change your stance. That is human nature. A lot of the problems in the world could be solved if people could admit they were wrong for once. Very frustrating. Still waiting on a final reply from LeBacon. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again. It's drawing a picture of you, Dr. Sherman. I don't know why. A spider is drawing a picture of me? I hate it. It sounds like it might be a wanted poster. I don't like that. Site 42 staff, we have 4 minutes left on this stream, and the likes to viewer count is not yet passed. So can you hit that like button enough in the next 4 minutes to get likes above viewers? I'm keeping an eye on you, staff. What did the Chaos Insurgency do? Well, they used to work for the Foundation, but then some AI, again, AI ruins everything, told them that the Foundation was evil, and they decided to defect, and now they try and blow up our facilities like jerks. Man, I hope LeBacon didn't leave when I, thusly maybe understood what they said, because that would have been a really good point, and I would have agreed with them wholeheartedly. SCP has always been political. In text and subtext, people who say otherwise don't know what SCP is. Facts. Poluri. Facts. Yeah, I'm not even talking about in a all art is political way. I mean, SCP has been clearly political since the start, but you have to know how to read to figure that out. If Site-42 were to find a temporarily disarmed Dalek, what would you do to contain it, and what would be its number? Well, if it's disarmed, we can just put it in a box and it's safe. The problem is if it rearms. I'd have to look back into the Doctor Who lore to see more about containment procedures for Daleks, but there is a bunch. Oh my, OMG, we're just here serving and protecting. Why are they blowing up a good thing? I don't know, man. The Chaos Insurgency decided that we were doing it wrong for some reason, and now they're on the offensive. They keep breaking out our anomalies and stealing them. They keep blowing up our facilities. It's really quite annoying. Chester Factory, thank you for donating again. Or no, is this your first donation of the day? I don't remember. Just grab yourself a candy apple on your way past the commissary. Currently helping the commissary make pulled pork. Oh, yeah. That sounds great. I am in the mood for the queue. By the way, we have 1 minute left before I start the outro, so get those likes up, people. You can do it. Terragal, what happened yesterday? I missed yesterday's stream. Watch the first 10 minutes of yesterday's stream on the Dr. Sherman's Office Hours playlist here on the channel. But suffice it to say, we were talking about the SCP Wiki's stance on AI art. being that it is very against AI art, and how people off-site don't realize that and somehow can claim that SCP is pro AI art, which is insane. Congratulations, Site42 staff. Right at the last minute, you did it. You got the likes above the view count. Congratulations, Mobile Task Force Site42, codename Signal Boosters. I knew you could do it. And Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. SCP-4471 from my home city. Oh, you got a local anomaly. Very nice. I've got a couple of those up in San Francisco that I can go visit from time to time. Very nice. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Pulled pork versus sloppy joes. How do you decide, man? It's a texture game, and sometimes you want one, sometimes you want the other. And the sauces are different, man. The sauces are different. Don't put two bad bitches against each other, okay? All right, everyone. We are here at the end of stream. And as always, at the end of stream, I tell you my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. That would be cheating. But if you did want to read the SCPs I personally wrote, you can go to the Sherm Site42 hub and author page on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCPs that I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to along the way. And hey, there's even some links one tab over from the author page that people are very often very excited to get to, but they're just not strong enough to find them. They don't have the strength of will, the determination, the grit to get to those links. And I respect you if you have the talent. And so go check those out. And while you're there, maybe you want to become a Site42 patron or a YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You want to do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat if you want to donate to us once at a time. Either way, direct donations help us keep the lights on the easiest, so we appreciate your efforts in that. And if you can't donate for some reason, hey, we've all been broke gang before. I understand we are an arts community. Starving artists is a stereotype for a reason. Either way, if you are still here watching our videos and commenting, hanging out in the chat and chatting, watching, liking, subscribing, all that YouTube business, then you are an honored member of Mobile Task Force Site42, codename Signal Boosters. And because of you, we are able to get the YouTube algorithm to bring people into our fandoms, which means that they will help us support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers. We will get all sorts of cool SCP stuff, but only because we all work together. And that includes not only helping Site42 get grander so we can suck people into the fandom, but it means that when I give the order that there's a new SCP project, you fly like a green witch's flying monkeys. We like, share, and subscribe on new SCP creators too, so we can boost them up. A rising tide lifts all ships. That's the problem with some creators, is they're very competitive. It's, oh, you're either only for me or nothing. No, the community is why this works, so we all gotta work together, people. Boom. And so, with all of that aside, thank you, as always, Mobile Task Force Site42, codename Signal Boosters, for your service in uplifting the SCP community. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one is a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one. It's a rough read. And so, Site42 staff, this has been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Anthony and Ye1 Diamond, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Now, all of you, make sure to be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. We'll see you in the next video or stream. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. And we will pick up Dr. Spanko momentarily. A.A. Blackwood, I am still learning weird science good enough to do it without backing vocals, so give me some time. We're almost there. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, 'cause I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black, tell them I ain't coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. Sick ass violin solo for a little bit, and then it comes on back. There's no place I can be since I've found serenity, and you can't take the sky from me. Credit song is the Firefly theme song. See you guys later, Site 42 staff.